But as I've said now repeatedly, the show is one thing, right? All those balloons dropping and the confetti and the music and all, that's all for show. Because we know ahead of time that John Kerry is going to be the Democratic Party nominee in 2004. We knew in 2016 that Hillary Clinton was going to be the nominee of the Democratic Party before the Democrats ever convened in Philadelphia to cast their votes. How did we know that? Because the delegates were pledged ahead of time. And she had enough delegates pledged ahead of time to secure the party's nomination. Okay? There's no suspense. We have not had a brokered convention in American, what is sometimes called a brokered convention in American presidential politics in a long time. Some people will say it happened in 1976 in the Republican convention between Ronald Reagan and Gerald Ford. I dispute that. I don't really think that was really a brokered convention, although it was very interesting. I would tell you that the last time that it happened was 1968. 1968. And that was the year, if I told you the story last time, I apologize for repeating it, but it bears repeating. The only reason that it happened in 1968 in the Democratic Party was because the presumptive nominee, a man by the name of Robert Kennedy. Have any of you ever heard the name Robert Kennedy before? The brother of John F. Kennedy, who had been Attorney General during John F. Kennedy's administration and during Lyndon Johnson's administration, or at least part of it. He was the presumptive nominee of the Democratic Party in 1968. But unfortunately for Robert Kennedy and his supporters, he was assassinated in a hotel kitchen in Los Angeles, California, the night of the California primary. So the Democrats weren't likely to vote for Robert Kennedy at their convention in Chicago. Okay? Instead, they had to pick somebody else, and that meant that they had to do some, deliberation and some discussion and some bargaining, maybe, and some vote trading and all that sort of stuff. All the pledged delegates no longer mattered in 1968 because Robert Kennedy was dead. Okay? But other than that, there's not really been any suspense in presidential politics for a long, long time. Certainly during the television era, it just hasn't happened. We know well ahead of time who the party's nominee is going to be. Okay, so does all of that, again, we do need to move on. Any questions about any of this that we're talking about here with the nomination process? Anything?